Good morning. The Senate Committee on Commerce, Science, and Transportation will come to order. In 1984, George Orwell chillingly explored how the control of speech is the control of the mind. In describing this world, Orwell powerfully demonstrated how an authoritarian government can suppress the ability of a person to speak, dissent, and think in order to control its people. Long before Orwell, our founding fathers recognized this threat as well. After witnessing a long train of abuses and usurpations by the British Crown, including the suppression of speech and thought, 56 men signed the Declaration of Independence, speaking out in defense of man's natural rights and beginning the formation of a new, free nation built upon one's ability to speak and dissent against the government. The American founders knew all too well that being unable to speak out against government encroachment of your rights ensures the loss of those rights. The right to speak out is the foundation of a free society. It gives everyone, whether a senator or a citizen, a contrarian or a comedian, the power to persuade and to hold government accountable. And that's why all of us need to defend and protect the most powerful weapon we have against the government's ability to censor its own citizens, the First Amendment. Censorship around the world is growing. Even allies like the United Kingdom are making arrests for so-called offensive speech, like criticism of open borders and peaceful prayer near abortion clinics. President Reagan was right when he declared that freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. Here in the United States, we must uphold free speech and zealously guard against censorship. Earlier this month, I convened a hearing to examine how our own government, particularly the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, censored in secret, often through third parties. CISA and White House officials jawboned big tech into deleting tweets, downranking posts, and deplatforming conservatives under the guise of, quote, safety and national security. We heard the stories of Alex Berenson and Sean Davis, who were personally targeted by the Biden administration apparatchiks for opinions and facts they shared on COVID and election fraud. They not only suffered significant financial loss, but more importantly, they were silenced by their own government. Today, we pick off where the story left off, with witnesses from two big tech companies that were pressured by the Biden administration to censor the American people, Google and Meta. Today, these same companies claim to zealously advocate for free speech. While I welcome their newfound religious conversion, they owe apologies to Alex Berenson, to Sean Davis, and to countless Americans they silenced at the Biden administration's behest. No major tech company, let alone the ones before us, publicly spoke out when this was happening. They were silent, despite armies of lobbyists and legal resources without limit. Big tech was speechless when the Biden White House bullied them into censoring regular citizens. Neither big tech nor any of my Democrat colleagues spoke up. They seemed quite content to follow the example of the United Kingdom, criminalizing speech that some find offensive under the guise of, quote, misinformation. But the fact is, the government cannot, or at least should not, be the arbiter of truth. You don't get to decide free speech protections are available only to favored or popular speech. It's not up to bureaucrats and politicians to decide which speech is reasonable and which is hateful, and then only accept that speech that they find to be socially acceptable and inoffensive. You don't get to cancel someone for using the wrong pronouns or challenging conventional wisdom on vaccines. No, our commitment to free speech under the rule of law means protecting speech that some people find unreasonable or offensive or even hateful. So what does that mean in practice? Alex Berenson and Sean Davis can prove that the Biden administration was behind their online censorship, yes, but they still face significant legal obstacles in recouping their losses. Their stories, and countless others like them, have revealed dangerous gaps in our legal protections for free speech. It cannot be that their First Amendment rights go unremedied merely because the violators are no longer in office or because Congress has withheld a damages remedy. This collusion between big government and big tech is a warning that we need stronger tools to guard our cherished freedoms. That's why I will soon introduce new legislation, the Jawboned Act, which will provide a robust right to redress when Americans are targeted by their own government. I am hopeful that today's hearing will reflect bipartisan interest in protecting free speech and finding common ground on measures like this one. We cannot remain idle in the face of government agencies manipulating private companies into silencing their critics. We must act decisively to uphold the First Amendment, to protect open debate, and to defend every American's right to speak freely without fear of government reprisal. I'll now turn to Ranking Member Cantwell.